everybody, every mind have the belief that himself or itself, I don't know what should I say, itself living this or that, thinking this or that, and while the mental context is of that quality or that another quality, this is real. This is a dream, a novel, a movie, charming as a movie or as a novel, horrible as a reality. So you could say, I don't believe in myself. You see, I don't believe in truth, but the truth that I exist, I don't believe in it. I don't believe, I have absolutely no respect for the intellectual, it's another intellectual truth. No respect for any kind of philosophy, even if it has some genie in it. I'm not impressed. I know it's just trash.
You think about yourself, but you don't take it seriously?
Well, I love myself, but I don't take it as a real thing which could be opposed to what I'm really, like another reality. I destroy myself. But when we appear to ourselves as a reality which is opposing what we are really, facing it and opposing it, well, we are believing in the truth of the thing. That belief should be destroyed. I don't believe in myself, inside myself, thinking this, feeling that. Well, it's a game. Now, as a game, it's perfect. As a reality, it's trash. So once you understand that directly, not intellectually, well, things are very simple, you see? It's very simple. So we could put it in that way. The I principle we are going to talk about the I principle with old word, a very old word, soul, the soul. Well, the spiritual essence. Well, what is my spiritual essence? I. Consciousness, awareness, pure awareness, that's my soul. But it's me, you see? When in the old days they were talking about their souls, they were talking about the essence of their personal identity. Not any when that chap, that German, I'll forget his name, so I don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. So you could say that you take the word which is daring, use the word soul, that old and ruined in a way word, but a good word, soul. Well, what is the mind if you in relation with the soul? What is is happening in our mind? What is the relation with the I principle? Well, the I principle, the soul, pure consciousness, likes to play that game. So we can be astonished. Why in the hell my soul or the I principle would like to play that crazy game, which is generally called life? Very strange, very strange. But of course, as the I principle is something like God, and exactly in the other direction, but something as big, as wide, as marvelous as God, well, perhaps as powerful also. You should not discuss his ways of doing things, you see. Perhaps it would be stupid to make a procès, to bring to the tribunal, to suit God in a court is be stupid. So the I principle likes to play that game. And what is exactly the game? Well, let's say that there's another me, lower than, lower, another me, not behind, but in front. Let's say there's another me, and let's say that other me, which is exists on a spiritual level, thinks, imagine, you have all these wonderful faculties, and let's say that inner time exists. He likes to play that. But of course, at any time, the whole thing, which is playing, the whole game, can go back to its source and disappear and vanish. It has no existence of its own. I don't mean if the I principle wants to play the game, but the game have in a certain way exists, but it has no existence to oppose to the I principle. And at any time, the I principle whistles, and the little dog comes into his house and vanishes. Right. That should work. So it's like a river which decided just for play to give itself what you call a branch.
Branches?
A branch, another branch. Bon, en français on dit un bras, un arbre, the same meaning. He decides just to play to give himself a branch. Of course, he knows very well that there's only one river. The river knows very well that there's only one river, and the water which is flowing in the branch, he gave himself, well, is the same water which is flowing in the main river. So everything is okay. He's just having a good time. He's playing. But you must notice that of course, the game we call duality. See, duality is there. So the first of all the games, and is the game which is played by our soul, by the I principle, but the implication of the game, the nature of the game has a very enormous implication. So it's the game of duality. So when duality there, of course, it's just for fun. See, no, that's perfect. That's perfect, and we should live duality in that dimension. Just fun, just amusing, very amusing, a movie. But at the time, the river becomes crazy, and he doesn't see at that time. The river doesn't see that branch, which is itself, that branch as itself, but as another river, a concurrent. Hein? Je ne sais pas le mot pour concurrent en anglais. Oui, c'est ça. And an enemy. So at that time, the duality is not for fun, it's for real. And the river is splits. And that's the start of the division process. And that happens at the root of ourself, which means the root of our minds, at every second. At the start, it's charming, the first phase, the first microsecond. Well, it's okay. It's just a game. But immediately it becomes real, and the splitting is not for fun. The splitting is effective. So we enter the state of separation and hallucination. So I think it's a very nice, idea that in fact all we live inside ourselves, which is very important. I don't say it's not important. As part of the game, it's very important. A good novel is very important. It's very important, but it's fundamentally unreal, and it's just an extension of the I principle. That's perhaps the right word, you see. The I principle, well, he decides to give himself an extension. And the extension of the I principle is what we call our mind, our inner life, what we call psychology. C'est ça. généralement. Well, all that is not trash at the start. It's just a charming game, and I would think that, in fact, that charming game has a function, that it's a dream, but the dream, it's the preparation, the start of the creation. It's the, comment on dit un plan d'architecte, un plan. A drawing of an architect, you say, so it's that dream has, virtually, is the world. And well, so it's not a little thing. Which means when the soul starts to play that strange game we call our mind, our inner life, a strange idea. Well, in fact, it's a step toward the creation. It's the same movement. So we could use another metaphor. My soul likes to smoke a pipe. So there's some fumée, comment on dit de la fumée? Smoke coming out of it. Well, it's very nice. My soul wants to smoke a nice pipe, it's all right. But when things go wrong, there's no more smoke. Smoke is unreal. Reality, you see. Or he takes a child's pipe, makes a big bubble, enormous bubble. Very amusing, yeah? And of course, it's absolutely unreal, subjective and unreal, just a bubble. But at the time, the bubble pretends to be a stone, see? And at that time, it splits, the bubble doesn't accept that it comes from the pipe and is reducible to the pipe and to the chaps, to the smoker. At that time, in French we say c'est foutu.
So it has a thinking of its own. When you say it doesn't accept that it's reducible to the pipe and the person, means it has a certain...
Well, in a way, it's en français on dit rébellion. If rebellion exists in English, yeah, you had that secession war. Well, in the States, well, it's a secession. That bubble with that thought, that mental image, which comes out directly from the soul, well, makes secession, and the war starts, and the blood is going to be there. So, in fact, you could say that he plays a game. So the soul plays the game of the mind. But the game is not absolutely innocent. Sooner or later, the game itself will want to be God, to be the source, and will try to separate itself from the source and forget the source and pretend he is the source. So it's not absolutely innocent. There's the metaphor of the river and the branch of the river, of course, one river. But there's another metaphor which could be used, the wave on the sea, the wave, and the water. Well, of course, I don't say that the wave doesn't exist, but the wave has no existence to oppose to the water, and it is reducible to water at any moment. And when things start to go very badly, well, it means that's when the wave refuses. It refuses to admit that it's pure water. See. So at that time, the water should be killed. The wave should be killed. But it doesn't mean that when the wave is innocent and accept the fact that it has no existence to oppose to the water, well, the wave has a right to a certain existence. But as soon as that existence, he feels, he affirms that the word that his existence, its existence can be opposed to the source, to the water. But at that time, everything is ruined. It's finished.